Hey guys, Matt Science here, and today I am back for day number 10 of r/PettyRevenge. Today I have 4, maybe 5 stories once again, and I just don't know what to expect with them. I'm just really hungry right now, so let's get into it. Revenge on 16-year-old son who spent all his money on weed. I wasn't a bad dad. He turned out pretty good. Journeyman electrician, works for a F500 company. Anyways, when he was 16, long time ago, he needed $30 for a school trip. I gave it to him several days in advance. The night before the school function, he told me he spent it and needed another 30. I finally forced it out of him that he bought weed. I don't have a problem with that. If you put all the things I've smoked in a pile, it would be bigger than a house. But now he needed more money. So I said, okay, you go with me to the store and do what I ask, and I'll give you more money. And even throw in a little more extra. He agreed, pretty much having no choice. I grabbed something out of the kitchen on the way out. We went to Target, kind of an upscale joint around here for simple shit. But before we got out of the car, I told him the deal. You have to wear a hat made out of this aluminum foil, and you can't talk to anybody. If anybody says anything or asks you a question, just mumble, I can't take it again, not like last time. He agreed. I made the hat, including a little point on top and 2 flaps that covered his ears. I put kind of a tail at the back. It looked perfect. I walked around the store, and he had to stay at least 10 feet away so people wouldn't think we were together. I heard him mumble unintelligent shit a few times as people stared and walked past. He never broke character, and we walked through nearly every section. Electronics, toys, men's and women's clothing, auto, pharmacy, food. It took nearly 45 minutes for me to grab the 3 things we went for. I gave him the card and enough money to pay for it, and watched as he went through the line. When I got to the car, I said, fuck it, he did a good job, gave him $50. ETA, I thought about making him buy a pack of condoms, a raw chicken, and some Vaseline, but I just got what we went there for. Engine oil, a head of lettuce, and some eye drops. For all wondering about how much damage his psyche experienced, he graduated with honours, became a licensed journeyman electrician, and is employed by a well-renowned company. This happened nearly 20 years ago. He now has 3 lovely kids of his own. This might also clear up some of the pricing of weeds comments. He's the kid who could name all the plants in order when he was 3 years old. He knew I'd give him the money whether he did anything or not. I think he accepted the terms on getting the little more, and maybe to have a good time with Dad to make up for spending it on weed. I am quite proud of him. We don't share alcohol in this house. This story takes place a few years back, when I came home from university for Christmas holidays to visit my family. I was of legal drinking age at the time as well. To set the scene, it's just my mum and I having dinner at the beginning of our time off. She pours herself a glass of wine from an average bottle. I'm not a wine snob, but she is. I asked for a glass as well to go with dinner. She declines. Her exact words are, we don't share alcohol in this house. Okay, not a problem. I didn't know this rule as I'm not a heavy drinker. I didn't see the issue of just having a glass out of her bottle. So I go on off to the liquor store to grab myself a bottle to drink over the next few days. And lo and behold, I find her favourite bottle of wine. It's Burrowing Owls. The liquor store only has a case of it and limits the number of bottles you can buy. It's a rare find and I lucked out. I buy the max, which is 2, and hid one, while I bring the second inside. By now, it's evening and after dinner. Mum is in the living room finishing her wine. I open the bottle and bring both the bottle and a glass to the living room. My mum's eyes lights up the bottle and asks for a glass. I look her dead in the eyes and say, sorry mum, we don't share alcohol in this house. She offers me 2 of her bottles for mine. She says I won't know the difference. But I stand firm. We don't share alcohol in this house. So I force myself to finish the bottle in front of her while she sulks. Christmas morning, after my family has opened up all of our gifts, I come out with the second bottle as a gift to my mum. She shared it with me that night. That's how you get a rule basically eliminated from the household. just be like, yeah, we don't share alcohol. Next day, rule is completely demolished. I'm going 10 over and still tailgating me? Here, let me show you something. I'm driving to work a few months ago and getting close. I have 2 turns remaining until I turn into the building. It is just a few blocks away. All the side streets, no highways involved. This guy behind me is in a black BMW and he's on my ass the whole time. I see him checking his phone, making angry faces at me and getting closer and closer. I speed up a bit, thinking it might come down. 5 over? Nope. Anyway, I make the first turn and am now on the street where my building is, maybe 600 yards up ahead. The asshole is still behind me, driving inches from me, and obviously pissed that I'm still going the speed limit, maybe 35 on this street. So I speed up a bit more and see he does the same. I drive an 8-year-old Toyota truck, not one of the huge ones, but one of the small ones. I do have all-terrain tires, and I have certainly driven through pastures, rocks, popped a curb or 10 in my time. My suspension is in good shape and have no problem treating my decade-old truck like a truck. Well, as I get closer to my building, there's a large speed bump in the street, effectively to get people to slow down as they approach the parking garage entrances. I look back and see arsehole still riding my bumper. I remember thinking to myself I need to slow down for the speed bump, and looking back and thinking if I hit my brakes, this guy is going to hit me. The plan takes shape in my mind and I speed up. I am doing about 45 when I hit that speed bump and yeehaw! I did a bit of a jump and land, never once touching my brakes. Even tapped them. I gave him zero warning for what was about to happen. I am watching my rearview window intensely during this because I wanted to see his reaction. He was cradling his cell phone between his ear and shoulder when he hit. His hood bucked up behind me and then slams it on the ground. I see him go flying out of his seat straight up. He slams his head on the roof of his BMW and his head rolls sideways from impact. He then slams back into his seat violently. He has a total, what the fuck was that? Look on his face as he grabs the wheel with both hands to recover. And yes, he slowed right the fuck down after that. BMWs and speed bumps. The true battle for supremacy. And speed bumps have won twice. Why? We literally had the same story, but with a delivery truck. Since you want to judge me for taking the second floor, have fun waiting for the elevator. Ooh, what are you going to do? I was waiting at the elevators. Didn't take too long since my apartment building is not that big. I get inside and right when the door closes, a hand pushes through. She looks like your typical middle-aged Karen. She presses the 17th floor and she takes one look at my floor, which was on the second. She scoffs, glares at me, and says, "The second floor? Really?" Didn't take much to piss me off. Her comment was so unnecessary and uncalled for. Who cares if it was the second floor? It's my decision whether to take the stairs or not. I just finished an overnight shift and I was exhausted. I guess my exhaustion made me extra moody because when I reached my floor, she was scrolling through her phone. I quickly run my hands through as much buttons as I could and said, "Have fun, bitch!" right when the door closes. And because I was extra exhausted, therefore extra moody and extra petty, I pressed the up button when the elevator barely reached the third floor so I can use the other elevator and press a bunch of buttons again to further inconvenience her, just in case she decided to get off on the third floor to take the other elevator. Take the stairs then, if it's not that big of a deal. Just don't be fucking rude to your neighbors for riding the elevators to the second floor. You don't know if they're exhausted or if they have non-visible health conditions that make it hard for them to take the stairs. Shit. That is smart. It's like, second elevator, you gotta take it all away from you. And then the first comment I say, I hope she had to pee. Last story. I served you decaf for 2 years. Hey, Mr. Verizon Man. You sold my dad refurbished iPhones and told him they were new. They were Hanukkah presents for my brothers and I. My dad was so mad that you sold him used phones. You lied to him, and he returned them. He returned them and swore off iPhones. And I didn't get a smartphone until I was 18. Mr. Verizon Man, I was nearly the only one in my class who didn't have an iPhone because of you. And you made my dad very angry on our favorite holiday. Mr. Verizon Man, you didn't know me, but I knew you. And when you walked into Dunkin' Donuts, you ordered an extra large hot coffee from me. Black. Mr. Verizon Man, you ordered that coffee from me every morning. I worked for 2 years. And every morning after you ordered, I or my friends behind the counter would pour you decaf coffee. Every morning for 2 years, you thought you were sipping that sweet, caffeinated Dunkin' coffee. But you were enjoying some lowly decaf. I hope my subtle revenge has made you a sleepy guy behind the counter, lying to customers, selling refurbished phones in place of new. Maybe you pocket the difference in money, I don't know. But anyways, Mr. Verizon Man, screw you! Damn. Just 2 years. No caffeine for you, bitch! Anyways, I'm going to end this episode here. Links will be in the description to the main channel and also the channel that you're on right now, TRScientist. Where also links on the screen to the last episode and the playlist. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. A ding, a ding. I'm Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist out.